Here's how to survive in Indonesia. Okay, so you live on a mountain, but it's a volcano. All right, so you get to climb up the volcano at night. It has to be at night because it's too hot otherwise. Then you have to go inside the volcano, down to near where the volcano is active, because it's active, so it's belching out sulfuric clouds at you all the time. And if you encounter a bad one, then you just die. So when you have a mask around your face that's just a wet rag, and you go down to the volcano and you pick up a 40-pound clump of sulfur, and then you carry it up out of the volcano at night, because otherwise it's too hot, and then you carry it down the mountain and you get a couple of dollars so that you can do it again. Yeah, that's not your life, but someone has that life.
Life shows how cruel and unfair it's capable of being when your 15-month-old baby boy, Kobe, passes away just a few months ago.
All of a sudden, you realize that you were complaining about a lot. Instead of feeling blessed, being grateful, you were complaining about things that didn't work. But in fact, everything was working well.
I met 3 girls under the age of 21 with terminal cancer. And I thought I was helping them by talking to them, and they were helping me. And so having an understanding about what life is really all about, and watching a girl dying and smiling and enjoying her life, that's what it's really all about, and having that faith.
It gives you clarity. And I think that's what happens even when you get your heart broken a lot in life. You then appreciate life. I do. I appreciate soap and water because I never had it. And I think that's what I got from my life. I appreciate things that other people take for granted.
Like that first day I walked in the Mayo Clinic and I thought like, damn, my arm paralyzed. And somebody sat beside me and there was 2 adults sitting on the side of a little girl. I don't know what her condition was, and it was like they was holding the skin up on her face. I wasn't comparing problems, but when I looked at my arm, I was like, bro, you just got a paralyzed arm.
And you're lucky if you're sad. Because if you're sad, it's circumstantial, and you can do something about it. You know, are you depressed because you have a serotonin imbalance in your head and it's a heritable trait? Or are you sad because your life hasn't worked out the way you want it to work out? Well, if that's the case, the latter, you're in luck because you can change that.
I have never understood why some people are lucky enough to be born with the chance that I had to have this path in life, and why across the world there's a woman just like me with the same abilities and the same desires, same work ethic and love for her family, who would most likely make better films and better speeches. Only she sits in a refugee camp, and she has no voice. She worries about what her children will eat, how to keep them safe, and if they'll ever be allowed to return home. I don't know why this is my life, and that's hers. We are all so fortunate.
Whatever you complained about in the last 48 hours, if you understood that there are millions of people who don't have access to fresh water, who literally woke up this morning and walked 7 miles one way and then back to create some level of fresh fucking water for their family when that shit was literally accessible to you in the sink in your bathroom, you fucking complain, you are fucking out of your mind.
Choose to get up every single day and bless your day. And to say, I have no idea what's going to be in my day, but it is blessed. Why? Because I am alive. And don't base your gratitude for your life on what you have or how you feel, but just because you are. Just because you are.
Life is precious, and it's beautiful just to wake up in the morning. Before I used to take it all for granted. I didn't care. I didn't care about nothing. I didn't care about family, friends, relatives, achievements. I didn't care about fuck all. I just didn't care. But now, after going to hell and back, I appreciate fresh air and a glass of water. Gratitude. Smaller things in life. Because when you've lost, you never know what you've really got until it's gone.
Sometimes we don't appreciate a good job, a good ministry, a good opportunity, a good friend till they're gone. Why do we value more in retrospect than we do in real time?
My most powerful frame for gratitude has been thinking about my 85-year-old self, waking up as my 30-year-old self, and all of a sudden looking at Layla and being like, man, I remember when we were this young. And then looking out the window and being like, man, Vegas wasn't even developed. Like, there's no flying cars yet. Like, man, they were still used gas. Like, this is so cool. And I get out of bed and I'm like, man, my elbows don't hurt, my knees don't hurt, right? Because I'm thinking about what my 85-year-old self would think. And, you know, we're talking about whatever, but it allows me to enjoy the mundane in a way that I know that I would give everything that I had when I was 85 to enjoy again. That has been probably my single most powerful frame on feeling grateful.
What you take for granted and what we don't think twice about is not until that's compromised that the true appreciation for life, I feel like, do you really appreciate your toes? Do you really appreciate your fingers? Like, do you really think about your movement, your joints, vision, smell? Do you really think about how fortunate and lucky you are?
I used to have a gratitude journal. Throughout, at the end of the day, I'll write 3 things I'm grateful for. But then, as I kept on doing it, over time I realized during the day, I'll be looking for things I'm grateful for, so I can write it at the end of the day. Yeah, so right. That way it keeps you in that frame of gratitude constantly through the day. Like, what am I gonna write at the end of the day? What am I grateful for today? So you start flowing that vibe of gratitude, that vibration of gratitude. And when you vibe with gratitude, trust me, abundance comes. It's magic.
Mom had great stuff in the morning. If you were not showing gratitude for the fact that you had a bed to sleep in and you got to come out breakfast, even if that breakfast was the damn Brussels sprouts from last night, if you didn't show some gratitude, she'd slap the table and send you back to your room. And always you're walking back to your room, don't come back in this kitchen to eat breakfast until you're ready to see the rose in the vase instead of the dust on the table.